What if the version of a film you've loved for decades was never the real one? In 1962, Queen Elizabeth II sat down for a special premiere of Lawrence of Arabia. It was nearly 4 hours long, 222 minutes of pure cinematic vision, exactly as director David Lean intended. But just 3 weeks later, that version vanished.
Why?
Producer Sam Spiegel made a quiet, ruthless decision. He cut 20 minutes from the film, without telling Lean, the cast, or the public. The reason? Cold, hard cash. Shorter runtime meant theaters could squeeze in an extra showing per day. That translated into millions more in profits. Every minute trimmed earned Spiegel roughly $50,000. For 27 years, audiences around the world watched a shorter version and had no idea anything was missing. Critics hailed it. The film won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. But even the Oscars had only seen the cut version. So what got lost? These weren't just minor trims. Entire scenes that revealed the soul of T.E. Lawrence, his trauma, vulnerability, and descent into darkness, were gone. One brutal scene showed Lawrence being humiliated and assaulted by a Turkish governor. Another followed the emotional wreckage he carried afterward. These moments explained why the once idealistic Lawrence grew cold, cruel, even savage, during the massacre at Tafas. Without them, his transformation feels sudden, almost senseless. One scene, just 16 seconds long, was deeply symbolic. It was supposed to open the film, a quiet shot of Lawrence's shattered goggles hanging from a tree at the site of his fatal motorcycle crash. That image was meant to return later, forming a visual loop, a haunting reminder of his journey and demise. Without it, the film starts with noise and action, losing its tragic, ghost-like tone. David Lean was devastated. He had poured years of his life into every frame. When he discovered the cuts, he called it artistic vandalism. He was so furious, he refused to speak to Spiegel for nearly a year. And for decades, the world never knew. Theaters kept listing the runtime as 222 minutes, masking the cuts. Only 2 prints of the original full-length version existed, both hidden deep in studio archives. Then, in 1987, a team of film archivists began a quiet search. They scoured mislabeled film cans, dusty vaults, damaged reels, until finally, they found the missing footage, including the legendary goggles shot. In 1989, a restored version was released, 216 minutes. Not quite the full original, but the closest we'd come. David Lean personally oversaw the restoration, obsessing over every frame, every color, every sound. Then in 2012, for the film's 50th anniversary, a stunning digital restoration was completed, with the help of Steven Spielberg. So why does it matter? Because the original Lawrence of Arabia wasn't just longer, it was deeper, more honest. It revealed Lawrence not as a flawless hero, but as a man tormented by pride, trauma, and inner conflict. The cut version made him easier to admire, but that wasn't the story David Lean set out to tell. This is more than a story about a movie. It's a battle between art and commerce, between truth and convenience. One of the greatest films ever made was nearly lost to greed. But thanks to a few determined archivists and the director's relentless vision, Lawrence of Arabia got a second chance. And this time, with the goggles.